Kamana enya kapo kawacho gibora mora kendo kawuono wan kaka jo Siaya kendo jo Kenya gik ma biro wachore kae kawuono onego wach gik moko ma jo Kenya biro paro godo Ogot ne ng'ano nikech nyocha kogot nolose piny Luo kanolose piny Luo. There are people in Democratic Republic of Congo. There are people in Tanzania. There are people in Uganda. There are people in Ethiopia. There are people in Sudan, particularly South Sudan. There are people in Chad who are here in Siaya. When we heard a very seminal speech from Dr. Ogot, I want to implore you, what is being said here today is for the record. It will live with us. With those initial remarks, let me call our brother from Asembo Rarieda, Mheshimiwa Owalo, mondo bi owach, luong jomoko modong'. Erokamano, Mr. Owalo.
To the church and the family of the late Professor Bethel Alan Ogot, let me pass my condolences to the family. Join the people of Asembo in passing my condolences to the family. Because way back in Asembo, where I come from, the late Mama Grace Ogot was my aunt. And the Nyanduga family and the Owalo family have had long and very, very close relationships built on strong foundations of Christian virtues. We want to remember Professor Ogot as an accomplished academician, a researcher, but also somebody who was very passionate about development. In this country, we have had two phases of liberation. The first liberation led to the attainment of independence of the Republic of Kenya. That was led by politicians. The second liberation facilitated the transition from single-party dictatorship to multi-party democracy. That again was led by politicians. But with those two liberations in place, good people, we are now on the threshold of the third liberation. That third liberation will not be political, but it has to be economic liberation of the Kenyan people. That is why His Excellency the President, leading from the front, is very, very deliberate about the development agenda of this region of Nyanza. This is a region which has largely been neglected before, both politically and economically. But this time round, under the fifth administration, the President is determined that we are going to change the paradigm because Nyanza is part and parcel of Kenya. And those of us who serve in the high echelons of the national executive, working in partnership with all integral stakeholders from this region, the governors, the elected members of parliament, both inclusive and imperative, we have agreed as a people that we are going to be united in the pursuit of economic development of Nyanza. And we have zeroed in on about 10 major projects which we want to see through during the tenure of President William Ruto. The first one is the Lake Region Ring Road, which emanates from Busia and goes all the way to the Kenya-Tanzania border. That road will open up the entire lake region for purposes of trade and commerce, and also facilitate trade with the neighboring countries. The second major project we want to pursue is the Korusoin Dam. Korusoin Dam will help us mitigate the floods in Nyando. It will help us facilitate irrigation during dry spells. It will also facilitate last mile connectivity of water and also augment the efforts of the Sondu Miriu electricity project for purposes of electricity. In equal measure, we will pursue the Magwagwa Dam in Kisii. We also want to pursue fish processing plants along the lake. The government is already doing quite a bit here by establishing and operationalizing fish processing plants. We want to see revitalization of the sugar companies, because sugar is a major economic base of the Nyanza region. We want to foresee revitalization of cotton, mining, starting with the Makalda mines in Migori, the mines in Asembo, just to mention but a few. We want to see a potato processing plant in Kuria and a soapstone factory in Kisii. Of course, all this will be augmented by enablers such as electricity, water, and interconnectivity of roads. So what I want to assure you, good people, is that under this government of William Ruto, we want to see tangible economic benefits for the good of the people of Nyanza, just as is happening in other parts of the country. Today, I have not come here to make a long speech, but I've come here to convey condolences of His Excellency the President to the family, and may I now have the honor and privilege of reading the President's condolence message. Condolence message from His Excellency Dr. William Samoei Ruto, President of the Republic of Kenya and Commander-in-Chief of the Kenya Defense Forces, to the family and friends of the late Professor Alan Ogot. Fellow mourners, we have come to lay to rest a hero of our times. Our country has lost an academic and an astute thinker who selfishly contributed to our progress. Professor Alan Ogot was an exceptional scholar whose work inspired many people. His leadership extended beyond academic and administrative roles in the university. Yet his commitment, compassion, patriotism, rigor, and integrity always shone like a lighthouse. In spite of enormous accomplishments, Professor Ogot lived a humble life, a lesson to all of us. Professor Ogot's service to the community will forever guide, shape, and influence many generations. May it be a comfort to the family, the academia, and friends that a grateful Kenya is praying for them at this sad moment. Be encouraged by the word of the Lord in Psalms chapter 46, verse 1. God is our refuge and strength, a very present help in trouble. Rest in peace, Professor Dr. William Samoei Ruto, PhD, CGH, President of the Republic of Kenya and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces. Thank you very much.
Let me now call upon our very own Cabinet Secretary for Energy and Petroleum, our intellectual Opeo Wandai.